Hi everybody. Welcome back to Asclepion podcast, the podcast on awareness and growth. And my name is Pepine van den Berg and I'm with
Myoki.
And today we are on quite a serious topic because it's November, it's autumn, and we've had the Samhain feast and All Souls Day and Halloween, and so we are in touch with the people we've lost,
Ancestors.
So today our topic is about grief and mourning, and to give it a bit of a structure, today we would like to first begin to talk a little bit about ourselves, our own experience on grief. Then we're going to talk about the types of grief there are, because there are certain types of grief. And then there are 4 mourning tasks. And then we will talk about what we can do to integrate our feelings of grief, or what we can do in our mourning process. So, about ourselves. Shall I begin? Well, let me tell you, I'm grief on 2 legs. I'm very aware of grieving, how it feels. I've lost a little brother when I was 16, and he was nearly 3. And we lost him through drowning, which was very, very, very hard on my parents, on us, and it was a great shock to be in, and it's really, really sad. I've talked about it on other podcasts, and my friend Tino, who asked me about it, said when I talk about it, it feels like when I start to cry, I can never stop. So I know the feeling of grief. In our family, we know what it's like to lose a child. So I know what it's like, how my parents were like in that period. So, and I also know how grief, how mourning is not really accepted in society. I was in school, back in school, in about a few days, and nobody ever talked about it again, or nobody addressed how I felt. So it's almost like you have it inside and you have no expression on your grief. I wanted to, you have 2 grieving parents. I also had a sister. So I also know what it feels like when you don't know how to deal with your grief, and that it's not really part of society to talk about it or give it a place. So I'm really aware of it, and yeah, and we're going to dive in a little bit more today. So Myoki.
Well, in the earlier days, death was part of life. Grandparents died in the living room. And now it's almost like it's pushed out of society, and people don't know what to do, don't know what to ask, don't know how to act around people who lost someone. It's a weird situation because it's an aspect that belongs to life. You're going to lose sooner or later.
Yeah. And we're not brought up in that
And we're not brought up in any tradition.
It's not visible
anymore.
Also anymore. It's all behind closed doors.
And I think it's sad. And I hope this podcast will bring death back into life, because you're dying every day, bit by bit. And many people are pushing it away. Are acting as if it doesn't exist, as if they're not aware, working hard to push it away. And I think it's important to bring it back, to bring it back in life, to bring it back into your consciousness. And it also makes you not makes you more aware and more gratitude for the life you have.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because it's so invisible, you can't see whether someone's in mourning.
No, not anymore. In the earlier days, you had this black band, and also not anymore.
No, you can't see. There is this invisibility, because mourning it's very deep. It's also like losing. It's about miscarrying, for example. That kind of loss. So we can talk about all kinds of loss. You had this beautiful two way of thinking about loss.
Yeah, first type of loss is when you lose someone to death,
Mm-hmm.
like a parent, like a pet, loved one,
Mm-hmm.
like your brother, that kind of loss. But there's also a group of loss which we call living loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you lose a partner, you know, when you separate, when you lose health, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, lose a job.
Lose a job, going in retirement.
Your loss of things you can't have, for instance, a child.
Yeah,
or miscarrying, or lose your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So and that's living loss.
That's what's called living loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I never heard about that one before. I always felt it.
Yeah.
Because I did lose a lot of my health and my energy.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought in that term about it.
No.
And when I start with this subject, I start reading and visiting presentations about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that's a good description, living loss, because you're still living on.
Yeah.
While you're losing.
Yeah.
And every day you lose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to hear this, but every day you die a little.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And every day is a step closer to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Only you never know when the end is.
No.
And that's a different way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because some people just live on and go on as if death doesn't exist.
Yeah. So there's also this aspect when you live with the idea that you're going to die, you can prepare yourself a little bit better. And you can prepare not only yourself, but you can prepare the loved ones you are going to leave behind. Yeah, so that's so you talked about making these boxes.
Yeah, some people choose when they know they're dying, like for example they have cancer, and they know the end is coming near, and they have a partner or children. You can make those boxes like with photos of yourself or school reports, pictures, whatever is important, so that those little ones can look back on your life and get an idea of who you were.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, and also it's a way for you to prepare yourself. So, okay, it's an active way of dying, not just resisting and resisting and resisting, because it's no use to resist.
No.
Everybody who came into the world will leave one day.
Yeah.
So I think awareness about this subject is of great importance.
Yeah. And that will leave some sort of fear. I think there's a lot of fear of dying, or fear of loss, fear of losing. Yeah,
because it's an awkward feeling. It's like polishing a diamond with a very hard machine. But everybody encounters that machine sooner or later.
Yeah,
and you also cannot what's it called? You cannot ignore.
No.
They tried so hard to push it to the side, like when people grow older.
Mm-hmm.
In the earlier days, people had their grandparents in the home.
Yeah.
And they died in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And also the children of the grandparents saw death close by.
Yeah.
And what we did in the course of the years is put people out of their homes far away in some service flat and, or in hospital, but not in the living room anymore.
No.
So it's like also not wearing this band anymore.
No.
All those little signs and all what used to be included in life, in everybody's life, is now excluded as far as you can, pushed to the side, not to not see, to not remember. And I think it's not right or something. No. Not right about it. I understand but the more you push it away to the side, the more fear.
Yeah.
More fear there comes.
Yeah. That's true. And when there's no acknowledgement, I see a lot of people in my office who have these physical symptoms. They are tired all the time, or forgetful, or there is this grieving in the background. There's depression. Stress, feeling numb. Lacking energy, lacking livelihood,
lacking life in general.
So it's really an important subject to address, to feel alive again. So there are these 4 mourning tasks. Can you elaborate on that a little?
Yes, I can, but I would like to talk about Manu Keirse, psychologist, and he found out there are 4 mourning tasks.
Yeah.
And you have to, what I understand from him is you cannot get rid of mourning. There has to be a balance between facing the loss and distract yourself from the loss. And this has got to be some kind of balance in order to weave it into your life. I think that's the most important thing. Loss, mourning is not going anywhere. No. You will always carry it with you in some way or form. Yeah. But weaving it into your life. So not pushing it away, not keep it too close every day. It's really a matter of weaving. Yeah. And Manu calls 4 mourning tasks. I have a little paper. You have to start with accepting the loss. Yeah. And I think that might be a hard part. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's different between when you have a loss to death or a living loss. It might feel totally different. Because it, for example, when my mom died, there was an acceptance because I could feel she was cold, gone. Soul was gone. Yeah. So there's different kind of acceptance. And when I lost health, I'm still trying to accept it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And it's every time a little step and then boom, back again. And then a few steps, boom, back again.
Yeah.
So it's a different, for me.
A different quality.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah. So a loss to death may be easier to accept. It's very sad and there is grief, but a living loss may be harder to accept.
I don't know for everybody, but it is for me.
For you, yeah.
I don't know for everybody.
No.
Some people might have, oh well, I'm sick, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and move on.
for as long as it goes. But
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was a world of difference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Both not easy, but different quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second morning task is to feel the pain, because every loss is painful.
Yeah.
And everybody
That's
wants
a
to
big
get
one.
rid of the pain.
Yeah.
And you cannot get rid of it until you face it.
Yeah.
I won't say go through it, because I don't think that's the right connotation, but face it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is a bundle of pain. So walk toward,
Mm-hmm.
go back.
Mm-hmm.
Walk toward, step close by,
Yeah. Pendulate.
go back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
until you are able to incorporate it
Yeah.
very slowly.
Yeah. Can be very scary to feel pain, because
Yeah.
you think it will never stop. But I think the way you say the pendulation, go there and go back, go in and go back, I think that's a very good advice.
Yeah, because your nervous system is not made to incorporate it all at once.
No. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
At
No.
least
Yeah.
not what I found out.
No, and it gives a stress response and then a freeze response and then whew.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's,
Mm-hmm.
no, and it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time to weave loss in.
Yeah.
And it changes every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a road from A to Z.
No.
It has all kinds of back roads and going back to the...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not just... It's not a simple thing. And mankind is made to ignore pain.
Yeah.
They do not want to face everything in your whole body, in your whole mind is like,
Yeah. Yeah.
avoid, avoid.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to get yourself to that pendulation.
Yeah, to avoid or to numb.
Yeah.
Take alcohol, medicine, and to numb the pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's also people who do that.
Yeah.
Also people who have a traumatic past numb the pain with
And it
drinking
doesn't
or
go
heroin.
away.
And it doesn't go away.
No.
There are more problems coming
Yeah. Yeah.
in the end.
So gently facing it, pendulating, not go in all at once is very, very good advice.
And the third morning task is adjusting to life without the one who died, or adjust to life without health.
Mm-hmm.
And you can focus on what you cannot do anymore, but you can also focus on what you can do
Yeah.
and maybe develop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The glass is always half full.
Or half empty.
Yeah.
For some people they're half empty,
Yeah.
and for some people it's half full.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's adjusting, accepting and adjusting.
Yeah. Waking up every day and move on step by step.
Put one foot in front of the other
Mm-hmm.
and keep going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the fourth morning task, Manu calls that you have to give the loss a place
Mm-hmm.
in your mind, in your body, in the way you express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you become aware that you have to, or that you're going to live without.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways of expressing loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we said, to make those boxes, or to
Yeah.
to make something. What's it called? A deken? Blanket.
Yeah.
A blanket from clothes of the one who has passed, for example.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That can be part of one of your morning tasks.
Yeah.
Or write about it, like I'm following a course lithography.
Mm-hmm.
where Luto stands for mourning, and grafie for writing. So there's so many things you can do to make it easier. Maybe, I don't know if that's the right word because it's never easy, but maybe to
get more in the acceptance flow.
To get more acceptance
get used
of the
to
move
it.
Toward the pain.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, move to get
to
yourself
start moving
out there.
with it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also important to have people around you so you mourn together.
Yeah.
It's very important time to reach out. Ask for help, also difficult for some people.
Yeah.
But that you have people in your environment who have a heart for you and reach out to you.
Yeah.
And where you can reach out to them as well.
Yeah.
I think that's most important because you're not alone.
No.
It feels alone because every loss is unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when there's a group of people who lose the same person,
everybody is
has
in their own way.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important to have this group and to come together.
And if you're lucky, you have a group, because the sense of community these days, we're all on our own separate islands, I believe. So it's a shame that people have to come to see a therapist to really, really mourn. But it's more like a community thing, a family thing. Yeah, so start now, I think. Building your community, have your social network where you can...
And the most typical thing, I think, is at the start of the summer, I lost an aunt. She was very old and demented. But it was a hard loss as well, because again, somebody going. And then 120 days after, her husband went. So their 3 children lost both parents in 120 days.
Yeah.
And except from the fact that it was very sad, it also brought the family together.
Oh.
Because nieces and nephews I haven't seen in decades, I saw there. And now we have a group and we have a reunion and everything starts to bloom again.
Wow.
So, except for the sadness of the loss, there can also come something good of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not immediately, but if you're open, if you're willing, if you wish to see this little green leaf growing on the on the branch.
Yeah. That's right. And I think this atmosphere, autumn, winter, is the time to go inward and touch a little on that grief. This is the right moment to address that, I think.
Yeah, for me too. When you look outside, when you're getting in touch with nature outside and the same nature inside.
Yeah.
It's like when you look, the trees are letting go of all the leaves.
Yeah.
This is the time for you to let go.
Yeah, and trees don't cry. It's
They
part
let
of
go.
their circle of life.
Yeah, but dying and losing is part of our lives as well.
Yeah.
Except trees have a very natural way to address it and we don't anymore.
No.
So I think that's why it's important to talk about these things. Yeah. So it's not a favorite subject of everybody.
No. So talking about it, making these boxes or blankets or right. And I did a very special thing to address my grief, and I did a truffle ceremony back in June. It's a psilocybin is the the substance that's in the truffle, which makes you go on a journey with plant medicine. And I was, it was a 3-day retreat, and on the day we had the ceremony, we had to pick some cards, and one card was a rose with one black tear. And I thought, oh no. I knew, oh no, we're going there. I didn't especially want to, it wasn't really my intention to address my grief, but when we were 4 or 5 hours into the ceremony, it started, and I saw my brother. So it was really, 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 really heartbreaking. I was crying my eyes out, but it was so healing as well. It was like I found him again, and I felt that he was never gone in the first place. So I think that healed me a lot. I saw him, I saw my other relatives I've lost, so I felt that everything is energy. Nothing ever, you don't really lose something, it's always there. So before the ceremony, I always had, for years, I had this undertone of sadness. When I had my lows, they were really low, and I also have my lows, but not that low anymore. So I think in the ceremony I did heal from a really deep sense of loss, because I saw him and I felt that everything is energy and we never really lose anyone. So it helped me on it helped me on a physical level, it helped me on mentally. So that was a really nice healing experience for me. Not for everyone, but for me it was very nice to do. Yeah. What did you say?
We're not really losing, it's you're losing a form.
Yeah.
You're losing your earthly jacket.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean the energy is gone.
It's not gone. It's not. And the love is there. Yeah, and you can find it in the smallest. I think when you build ritual in your life, finding little feathers on your path, looking at butterflies, or these little rituals, like people you've lost are checking in on you.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thought, because in the early days, when people celebrated Samhain,
yeah,
the society was way more ritualistic, way more natural than it is now.
Yeah, everything has a soul.
Yeah, I love that thought. I love the thought to play with.
Yeah.
This circular idea.
Yeah.
And the 5 steps in Chinese medicine, the seasons.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. The AI and all that other stuff is not.
It doesn't have a soul.
No, lacking soul.
No. And when I was in ceremony, I've lost my fear of death.
That's most important.
Because you don't feel, there's no pain, there's no fear. It's a transformation into energy. That's what I felt. So I've totally lost my fear of death. It's not something you will experience. I thought you could experience this on a conscious level, but you can't. It's like falling asleep. You're not aware when you fall asleep. I think that's the same with dying. There's not a conscious feeling. I totally lost the fear. And I think there is a lot of fear of death as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've covered a lot. Also what we can do.
You can always look back to the earlier podcasts of integration.
Yeah, our Tools of
Maybe-
Integration series. Yeah.
Maybe you find something there which might help you.
Yeah, you can weave your mourning there. Yeah, we can really recommend that series because it gives you something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something to do in a good way, not in a way that you're walking away from it, but
No.
that you're moving slowly toward it.
Yeah, because it's always gonna be part of life. It's not easy, but it's part of life.
And a part of you.
Yeah, and crying is okay. And hope we can all have somebody to cry with, and we can feel loved, we can feel held, and feel comforted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this episode. Yeah,
We'll be back.
we'll be back. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.